Oh, there. Then you hit play. Give her the thumbs up. Perfect.
We're ready? Okay. So the public hearing on Ordinance 9010 is now open. Public hearing is a meeting that provides the opportunity for public discussion regarding ordinances and other matters pending before City Council. Today, Ordinance 9010 is at issue. Ordinance 9010 authorizes the placement of the Police Division building on West Worcester and the Needle Hall building located in City Park on our local historic register, as suggested by the Historic Preservation Commission. Interested parties may express their views and submit evidence supporting those views at this public hearing. The information shared will become part of the city's permanent record and may be used by the members of City Council in deciding whether or not to adopt the ordinance. There are usually 4 parts to our public hearings. First, the staff report. Second, the applicant's testimony. Third, public testimony. And fourth, discussion by members of City Council. To start, we will receive the staff report from Planning Director Heather Saylor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Heather.
Thank you.
Good evening. So bear with us. This is the first really try at getting local designation done here. And I know the commission was really excited to kind of start what we'll call the low hanging fruit, which is city properties that have really been well maintained and meet all the criteria. So Needle Hall and the police building, per section 158.06 that I know council painstakingly worked on that new ordinance. That is what applies in this scenario. So the City of Bowling Green Historic Preservation Commission is the one who is recommending these 2 buildings for designation. Needle Hall is at City Park, which is 520 Conneaut Avenue, and the police building is at 175 West Worcester Street. I did give you at the back of your packet, you'll see the aerial view of both the properties. The HPC is required to hold a public hearing, which they did on March 22nd. No one was present at the meeting to talk for or against, so it went very well. So after that recommendation, a positive recommendation, they did send City Council a memo about both properties. And so again, that copy is in your packet. In addition, I have copied the property inventory form, which is basically what highlights what's unique about the building, why they are historic. And then City Council received the request from the HPC and forwarded that request to the Planning Commission on April 2nd. So Planning Commission reviewed and recommended approval of the request to City Council on May 4th. So you can see we've tried to hit all the required steps. It's taken some time. It's had thorough review. So as part of this packet, I gave you a picture of Needle Hall, and I gave you a picture of the police building. And again, just to highlight the memo, the city building, that's been on the National Register already as part of Main Street, and that was around 1980, 1981. The original city building was actually used for administrative purposes. That has been remodeled. Basically, the 2 original walls are there. So basically both front facades, but it has, again, been extensively remodeled. But really the main character of the building is still there along with that steeple. It's Romanesque style. It's obviously red brick, and it was built between 1892 and 1893. There was a town hall before that that was much smaller. And it's kind of interesting to note on the property form that we use, there's a Sanborn insurance map back from 1893. So you'll see where they still had the original town hall footprint there and then the new building next to it. Then if you look at the next Sanborn map, which is in, I think, 1900, you'll see the town hall was later removed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of neat to research all those old documents and really look back at how that worked. So again, that memo highlighted the reasonings behind that criteria for the historic preservation, how it's eligible. And again, the property inventory form with the required pictures and the different type of architectural aspects, the uses. And I think that's basically it for the police building. Needle Hall, that was part of the original county fairgrounds, as most of you know. So it's the original building still remaining there. It's actually was on the National Register of Historic Places in 1982. So again, around the same time as Main Street, really. As you know, it was used as Floral Hall and later changed to Needle Hall because it became a spot to showcase needlework. It's very unique because it does have the 4-legged Greek cross, which I read about actually is designed to really have that air flow through all aspects of the building, which I think is neat because they thought about more of those types of things, I think, back then, because you didn't have air conditioning, you didn't have, furnaces for the most point, boilers later on. So it's interesting to read, I think, how that design came to be. And again, the property inventory shows you the architectural features. It's currently shelter, rental building, stage for definitely outside activities. And again, pictures of all sides of that building. I think that's it. I feel like you could say all kinds of things about these great buildings, but just to highlight, I think the main effects of why it's really important, I think, to preserve these buildings on behalf of the commission.
Sure. This stuff was really fun to read. Nick, Greg, any questions for Heather before we let her go?
No questions. No questions.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Thanks, Heather.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
We do have Historic Preservation
Yep.
Commission members here if
Okay.
they would like to add anything
Yeah.
to the hearing.
Awesome. So we're at the applicant part of the proceeding. Are members of the Historic Preservation Commission here that would like to speak to the committee? Okay. So please state your name and address for the record.
I'm Chris Mowen at 622 West Worcester. I'm with the Historic Preservation Commission, and I wanted to thank you all for hearing this tonight and for all your help with, the last couple years as we get the ball rolling on these ordinances. Heather did a great job explaining a lot of the history of the buildings. I just wanted to note that, these are buildings that our community interacts with. They, see around town. And I think it's really a great step to say, we find these important to our community. And so therefore, we want to give them this significant designation.
I agree. I think
Yeah.
these are two great first buildings to be on our register. Greg, Nick, questions for Chris?
No questions. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you,
you.
Chris. Anyone else at this time? No? Okay. So we will now hear testimony from the public. Are there any members of the public who would like to address the committee at this time? Okay. Hearing none, we'll move on to discussion by members of council on this ordinance. Greg, Nick?
Like you, I think it's a great step in the
Mhm.
process. Great building.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, not only are they beautiful buildings that obviously have a historic presence here in Bowling Green, but I think the cherry on top is that, if I'm correct, the historic designation will make them eligible for an Ohio state tax credit, which I know that the police building has been looking for renovations. I think that's a great way to help ensure that we can provide that for them.
I will thank everyone for their participation this evening. This concludes the public hearing on ordinance 9010. Thank you.
Come up
Mhm.
with all.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I did see.
It's a WPA project.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I did see that there is an applicant on their agenda for next week. A home, I don't know which one, but a home near the courthouse. Applying to be listed, so that might be number 3,
Across from the courthouse, he said?
somewhere around there, yeah.
Sweet.
Chris probably knows.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you? How are you? Good.
How's it going?
Good.
What do you have?
Oh, show and tell.
Oh, yeah, big checks.
Oh, check.
Big checks are always fun. Yeah.
Explain. Oh,
Oh, sweet. So we're giving those out right now? Yeah.
gotta have a ceremony though, right?
Exactly. if they did want to subdivide, as they get closer to downtown. So it seems like we're allowing lot sizes to be small. I would say generally speaking.
I'm hoping
You're
they're
on
here for those.
Napoleon?
College in Napoleon, right across the street from Klotz.
I think you're in university residence.
Yeah.
So there is a density requirement. Standard in your part of town.
I'm probably non-conforming.
But it's not, it
Well, you're
is.
definitely pre-existing.
But no, but you will not be legal non-conforming. It is nothing, it is,
It wouldn't affect me either way.
No.
I'm not selling.
well, yeah.
Mark, how do I send this through?
Mark.
So that's a question for Mark.
Oh, I do.
You're sending that to committee, I think.
No,
This is the stuff that you kind of.
no, you're just introducing.
Okay.
But we are scheduling a hearing for it?
Or do it now.
Yes.
Sweet.
Okay.
Oh, you want to go that one?
Yeah, man, this is a big,
Would you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
You got a big one here.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you all for being here this evening. Jody, could you call the roll, please?
Dennis,
Yes, here.
Harold,
Here.
Hollenbaugh,
Here.
Odoricio,
Here.
Phipps,
Here.
Robinette.
Here.
Urbando.
Here.
Okay. So the minutes from our meeting on June 6th were distributed for your perusal prior to tonight's meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right. Correspondence. Jody, do we have correspondence this evening?
Yes, we have one item that was received. The financial budget summary report for the month of May 2022 was distributed to council prior to this evening's.
Okay. Special recognitions, Mayor Osbacher.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, council. Good evening, everyone. This is an exciting evening. We do have some special recognitions. For the first one, I am pleased this evening to issue a mayor's commendation to one of our city employees. These are rare. I believe that this is perhaps the second one that I've done. As you know, I hold all of our employees in high esteem. I respect the work that they do every day. They all do great work every day. Occasionally, one of our employees rises to the level where special recognition is warranted. So this evening, I would like to present this mayor's commendation to Scott Beaker, a member of our Public Works Department. And to do so, I'd like to ask McMurray Public Works Director Scott and your wife Deanna, if you'd like. Go ahead and read this. Whereas on April 13th, 2022, at approximately 12:30, Scott, Public Works equipment operator, distinguished himself from the average resident on the typical responsibilities of the employee by assisting a fellow citizen during his route as a refuse collection driver. Mr. President, who appeared to have fallen on the porch. Beaker exited the vehicle to check on the person found for bleeding, not a question. Mr. Beaker quickly determined that the resident medical attention dialed 911 remained on scene. President question found recovery. Thanks to Mr. Beaker's conscientious effort, quick thinking, greatly responsible, serious medical attention. Now, therefore, I, Mike Osbacher, Mayor of the City of Bowling, Ohio, in acknowledgement and recognition of Scott Beaker's significant selfless act, betterment of the hereby thank and commend kind act, Ordinance, strategy, Commendation on behalf of all of us. God, thank you so much over and above. So for our second special presentation, I'm going to ask Martha Wolke to come up and help me. We are going to this evening award some of the micro grants. So I'm going to go ahead and read a little narrative here to kind of set the stage for this. City Council, in an effort to encourage the investments of the Community Action Plan, has allocated $15,000 of city funds for micro grants. Each applicant must meet these guidelines, advance the principles of the CAP, be well-planned, demonstrate that funds will be effectively and efficiently used, and where possible, show collaboration with others, and explain how receipt of the grant will impact the project. For 2022, 9 applications totaling over $35,000 were submitted. The following applications were chosen using a scoring matrix to ensure that the CAP ideals were met. These organizations and groups were funded for their activities that promote citizen engagement, enhance neighborhoods, improve safety, encourage economic development, or address neighborhood needs and aspirations. Representatives of these grant recipients are here this evening to receive a ceremonial check for their group. We don't get to do this very often. This is kind of cool. First time we ever signed a big check.
First up is Firefly Nights. Kat Patterson and Kristen Strum are here representing Firefly Nights. The mission of Firefly Nights is to foster the diverse, neighborly, and lively atmosphere of downtown Bowling Green while giving the community an opportunity to gather for family fun, food, and entertainment. Their first event was held last Friday, and I have to say, it was great. There were a ton of people downtown, and it was really awesome to see the community out. Thank you. Next up is Howard's Club H Mural. This is Carrie Day and Gordon Ricketts. Come on up. Oh, you've got the shirt on too. Wow. This mural will be installed on the north-facing wall of Howard's Club H at 210 North Main Street. The wall is the first downtown area wall visible to southbound travelers on Main Street and will provide a lively visual of public art in a previously underutilized space. Next up is Tony Vetter representing the Downtown Foundation. The Downtown Foundation, in partnership with the Parklet Project and Bowling Green Arts Council, is working to rebrand and beautify the alley walkways connecting back parking areas with the front areas of downtown. The first alleyway identified for improvement is Dogleg Alley, located adjacent to City Lot 1, Finders Records, and Sterling's Amish Deli. And our last one is Fourth Ward Felines. So this took me back to high school days with Sandra Lepper. And then she's got a whole group of their team, which is Angela Sanka and her son, Evan, Kathy Mason, Connie Donald, and Linda Savage. This group of volunteers has banded together to decrease the population of feral cats in the Fourth Ward. They've partnered with Midway Animal Hospital and the Wood County Humane Society to spay and neuter these wild cats, hoping to reduce disease spread and nuisance problems. As an added benefit, they are also starting to work with some folks in the First Ward to help them as well.
That's it. Okay. Lobby visitations. Do we have anyone signed up for lobby visitation?
No one signed up this evening.
Okay. Brings us to the introduction of new legislation.
Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette.
from the Finance Committee, I have one resolution, one ordinance. First, a resolution transferring previously appropriated funds. And second, an ordinance providing supplemental appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Bowling Green, Ohio during the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2022 and ending December 31st, 2022.
Mr. President, I have an ordinance. I have an ordinance from the Community Improvement Committee. Ordinance creating Section 123 of the codified ordinances of the City of Bowling Green concerning electric scooters or e-scooters.
All right, thank you very much. All right, that brings us to official reports. Mr. Mayor.
Good evening again. I just wanted to comment on this past weekend in Bowling Green. Started out Friday, lunch in the park. I don't know if many of you have had an opportunity to attend any of those lunch in the park events, but they were really great. The weather's been beautiful this year. Last week it was Beckett's was the meal provider, and I'm certain that there was over 100 people there. So just encourage you to I highlight that event and encourage you to have an opportunity to attend one of those great events. They always have great musical entertainment. It's just a great opportunity to spend some time in our beautiful city park. Friday night, Firefly Nights. I saw a number of members of council down there that night, and I saw a good number of members of the Bowling Green community. It was packed. And what was clear to me is it was just reinforced again how much Bowling Green likes festivals. So we're thankful for those responsible for organizing and presenting that event. It was very well received. It was very well done, and also would recognize the efforts of Public Works, who provided logistical support for the event, and our police. They were on foot, present in the downtown area. And then Saturday was Juneteenth. I had an opportunity to attend Juneteenth and present to them in that setting the proclamation that I had previously presented to council. That event is growing, and we're thankful for those that are responsible for organizing and presenting that event. It's an important event, a good educational opportunity. And I was really pleased to see that take place again in our community. So that concludes my report, subject to any questions that you may have.
Are there any questions for the mayor this evening? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Municipal Administrator, Ms. Treader. Are there any questions for Ms. Treader this evening? Okay. City Attorney, Mr. Marsh.
I don't have a report, but the mayor wanted me to mention the correspondence I sent to you today, establishing my final day as, I think I said September 30, which is a Friday. Other than that, I think I said what I wanted to say in the letter, but if you have any questions or anything, fire away.
President.
Go ahead, Bill.
I know there will be plenty of opportunity to sing your praises, but I did want to say that apparently the way that Council President Hollenbaugh allows people to retire is they have to still continue going to city council meetings. So bear that in mind.
I'm not doing that. I'm not sitting over there. But I'm glad Kay's here. Otherwise, I probably would have found something up for tonight.
Well,
So I appreciate her. She's got our back.
I appreciate all the work you've done. I know it, we all do. And having been on council when you first became the city attorney, I have a vantage point where you are a true pillar of the community. And if any of you had even a portion of an idea of all that Mike does behind the scenes without any recognition, how selfless he is, you would agree he is a true pillar of the community. So you'll be missed, but I may end up repeating myself later on.
Well, thanks. Thanks to all of you.
Thank you very much for your long service to the city, Mike.
Excuse me, Mr. Hollenbaugh. I knew that Mike would not want to say much, but you guys did receive his letter. I just wanted to highlight a couple things. Mike's been the attorney on or about December of 1987. That's a really long time. So when we talk about somebody that's had a substantial and meaningful impact on this community, I struggle to think of anybody who's contributed more. And I've lived in Bowling Green my entire life. Mike, he points out that he agreed to take the job for 1 year and 1 year only. And he wouldn't attend any staff meetings. That struck me. As Matt, I can attest to that. It's tough to get him over here if I want to. Usually I got to go down there and catch him in the coffee shop. But, you know, Mike started working for the city, collecting garbage as a member of the Public Works Department, worked his way through school, also served as a city prosecutor before becoming the city attorney. Bill, as you mentioned, people don't know what all Mike contributes to this community. And I could not let him get away this evening, just kind of dropping that announcement without taking this initial opportunity. And there will be more. Mike, we will certainly find a time for us to more adequately express our appreciation for all of your contributions. I can't say it here tonight, and it's going to be a struggle to say it over the course of these next months as you wrap up, you know, your career for the city of Bowling Green. But again, Mike, thank you. Thank you very much. And we'll look forward to an opportunity, as I mentioned, to adequately thank you and express our appreciation for you. So thank you.
Bill, it seems that the thing these people all have in common is that you were here when they started. And you're still here. So don't blame me that I won't let them leave. Okay. Public Services Director. No, he's not here. Okay. Public Infrastructure Director, Mr. O'Connell.
Just two items really, just to let you know that the consumer confidence report for the water treatment plant, this is for 2021 now. That is online now, so residents or customers can go look at that and see our report that we have to submit that annually. We used to mail that, but we don't mail it anymore because it costs money to mail it, and the EPA lets us do it electronically. So residents and customers will be notified about the access to it on the website. Also, you may have seen that Amanda had put out something called Community Energy Savings Days, and really it's just an effort to try to reduce our electric load that customers are using on the highest and hottest days. The reason for that is that our charges for this year were set last year from those peaks, and so whatever the peaks that we have this year, that will determine the price that we pay next year. And so those charges obviously get sent to us, and then we pass those on to our customers. So it's only between 2 and 6 p.m., and it's on the hottest days of the year. So we're not asking people to do it on a daily basis, but just watch for those hot days and try to dial back the thermostat a little bit, or maybe dial it up, turn off lights, unplug unnecessary appliances and things like that. So every little bit helps. That's all I have, unless you have questions for me.
All right. Are there any questions for Mr. O'Connell this evening? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. That brings us to council committee reports. Do we have any council committee reports this evening?
Mr. President,
Ms. Phipps?
directly before this meeting, we held the public hearing on Ordinance 9010. Heather Saylor gave a staff report. We heard from Chris Mowen of the Historic Preservation Commission. There was no public testimony and no objection from the public or members of council at that committee.
Okay. Anything else?
Is this where?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Mr. President, I'd like to request a meeting of the Community Improvement Committee, July 18th at 6:30, to hear comments on the Ordinance 123.
Okay.
And Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette?
I was going to give a reminder that there's a finance committee also on a committee meeting on the 18th of July, and I'd like to request that we move the time. It had been originally booked for 6:15. We'll move that to 6 to accommodate the follow-on meeting that was just planned. So finance changed from 6:15 to 6 o'clock for the second quarter update.
Okay. Any other council committee reports? All right, that brings us to the reading of legislation. Jody?
Reading for first, or legislation for first reading. Resolution 3826, resolution transferring previously appropriated funds.
Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette?
I move to suspend the rules and give ordinance 3826 its second and third readings.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Jody?
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Odericio,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Urbando,
Yes.
Dennis.
Yes.
Okay, so the rules are suspended for Resolution 3826.
Resolution 3826 for second and third reading. Resolution transferring previously appropriated funds.
Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette?
I move to adopt resolution 3826.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay, Jody?
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Odericio,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Urbando,
Yes.
Dennis.
Yes.
Harold.
Yes.
Okay, Resolution 3826 is adopted.
Ordinance number 9014 for first reading. Ordinance providing supplemental appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Bowling Green, Ohio during the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2022 and ending December 31st, 2022.
Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette?
I move to suspend the rules and give ordinance 9014 its second and third readings.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Jody, could you call the roll?
Odericio,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Urbando,
Yes.
Dennis.
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh.
Yes. All right, the rules are suspended for Ordinance 9014.
Ordinance number 9014 for second and third reading. Ordinance providing supplemental appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Bowling Green, Ohio during the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2022 and ending December 31st, 2022.
Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette?
I move to adopt ordinance 9014.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay, Jody, could you call the roll?
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Urbando,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Odericio.
Yes.
Okay, Ordinance 9014 is adopted.
Ordinance number 9015, ordinance creating section 123 of the codified ordinances of the City of Bowling Green concerning electric scooters, e-scooters. Legislation for second reading. Resolution 3825. For second reading, resolution adopting the estimate of revenues for the year 2023. Ordinance number 9013. Ordinance authorizing the Public Services Director to advertise for bids and enter into a contract or contracts for improvements at City Park, including paving of City Park Drive, constructing a shared use walking path, paving, repairing parking lots, and other related projects.
Mr. President,
Mr. Urbando?
I move to suspend the rules and give ordinance 9013 its third reading.
Second.
Okay, properly moved and seconded. Jody?
Robinette,
Yes.
Urbando,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Odericio,
Yes.
Phipps.
Yes.
Okay, so the rules are suspended for Ordinance 9013.
Ordinance number 9013 for third reading. Ordinance authorizing the Public Services Director to advertise for bids and enter into a contract or contracts for improvements at City Park, including paving of City Park Drive, constructing a shared use walking path, paving, repairing parking lots, and other related projects.
Mr. President,
Mr. Urbando.
I move to adopt ordinance 9013.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay, Jody?
Urbando,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Odericio,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette.
Yes.
All right, ordinance 9013 is adopted.
Legislation for third reading. Resolution number 3824, resolution adopting and authorizing an amended Community Development Block Grant, CDBG, Housing Policy and Procedures Manual.
Mr. President,
Mr. Odericio.
I move to adopt ordinance 3824.
Second.
Second, it's resolution though.
Thank you.
Yep. Is there any discussion? All right. Jody?
Dennis,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Odericio,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Urbando.
Yes.
Okay. So resolution 3824 is adopted.
Ordinance number 9009. Ordinance authorizing the Public Services Director to sign an LPA agreement with the Ohio Department of Transportation, ODOT, and to seek qualifications, advertise for bids, and enter into a contract or contracts for engineering, design, engineering, right-of-way acquisition, construction, and other services related to the construction of a multi-use path along Brim Road and adjacent vicinity.
Mr. President,
Mr. Harold.
I very much move to adopt ordinance 9009.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
We require homes to provide sidewalks at the front of their property. Why do we not require that of businesses also? For example, the businesses along Brim for specifically.
That is correct. Those businesses were given waivers, deferrals, because the plan was under development for a long time for this. So we had deferred that requirement until we knew about the grant and that the path is actually going to be built. So yes, in normal circumstances, yes, they are required to build sidewalks.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Okay. Jody?
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Odericio,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Urbando,
Yes.
Dennis.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 9009 is adopted.
Ordinance number 9010. Ordinance authorizing the placement of the Police Division building on West Worcester Street and the Needle Hall building located in City Park on the local historic register as suggested by the Historic Preservation Commission.
Mr. President,
Ms. Phipps?
I move to adopt ordinance 9010.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay. Jody?
Hollenbaugh,
Yes.
Odericio,
Yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Urbando,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Harold.
Yes.
All righty. Ordinance 9010 is adopted. Because of the 4th of July holiday, our first meeting in July will not be on Monday, July 4th, but will be on Tuesday, July 5th instead. Is there any other business to come before council this evening? Hearing none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Pose same sign. We are adjourned.
Big check day, that's fun.
Do we get those back? They don't keep those, right?
No doubt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, yep.
I haven't done it yet.
Okay, yes. Do I do it with each one? And see, you know what, I typed like this one for second reading. Right. But when I do this in my mind tonight.
Yeah.
So you say before.
Yeah.
When I do this.
It's just not.
And see, I have it typed right here.
You get it.
And I just,
So,
yeah, I won't pay attention to that. Yeah, on all of them. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Right.
I was taking
Okay.
notes.
Well, and so I did this part.
Yeah.
I just didn't clear it that. I'll underline. I know. Thank you.
No, I mean, I will
Yeah.
take.
It did.
Tremendous.
I could not look pretty here.
Yeah, and I thought the setup was nice.
Yes, it did.
Sounds like she did Tom's bills.
You know, they could send it to you to dissolve.
You gotta put it on the.
I got it done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, it does.
No, I the original had it down through there.
Yeah, Jeff.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, good.
Nice work, Jody.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Yes, look forward to it.
Yes.
See you, Mark.
Right.
Thank you. I'm Jody. It's nice to meet you.
The downtown business.
Yes,
As I recall,
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah, right, okay, so I need to make a note that. Okay.
Go into executive session, you'll need to give more of those tomorrow.
Yeah, and that's the thing, there weren't any, yeah, so I just put them on the
as soon
clipboard.
as soon as
I just
know-
put extras, yeah.
as soon as I know I have an accurate.
Because I saw there's a cartoon connected to the
We'll give the whole
clipboard,
meeting.
and I'm like, oh.
The purpose of that,
Yeah, yes. All right, so I
the
need Mark's
purpose of that meeting
signature
will
on
be
a bunch of
to
stuff.
discuss
Yes.
the items.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Yeah, you might want to put the signature page for the minutes.
But like I said,
Okay,
He doesn't have to fish.
okay.
we-
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're
I
welcome. You're doing
think in the
fine.
middle of.
Thank you.
So, it's a lot.
It's a little,
It does.
Yep, yep.
it's quick,
It
because
is.
then it's like, oh, it's all me.
Right, it's on me. It's your turn.
Yeah, I know.
And people want to
Yeah,
go home.
Yes.
He's out
This was
there like
wonderful.
6
Yeah,
hours
so
a
that
day.
was the only two things I wrote
So
them
we're
down.
still recording,
So,
isn't he?
that is his
Isn't it?
pride and joy. Well, there's another Hosta garden somewhere in the United States
Yeah,
that he's in an indirect competition with.
I know.
Because
I'm wondering.
They keep trying to have the most varieties, and then he tries to have one more than them, and then they try to have more than him. So I don't remember exactly where this other garden is, but they are mindful of what each other are doing. So, yeah. He doesn't like to be outdone. I would expect that the Hosta area will grow as much as they will let him make it grow.
Yeah, yeah.
As-
All right.